Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little gray mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon and Aurelio, Trulio, little pet dragon. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little gray mouse, she was called Blink, and the little yellow dog was as sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward, so she called him Custard. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him and scales underneath, a mouth like a fireplace and a chimney for a nose, and Aurelio, Trulio, daggers on his toes. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for his nice, safe cage. Belinda tickled him, she tickled him unmerciful. Ink, Blink, and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in a little red wagon at the Aurelio, Coolio, cowardly dragon. Belinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said weak, which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice, safe cage. Suddenly, they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled, and they all looked around. Meouch, cried Ink, and ooh, cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. Who knows what a cutlass is? A cutlass? Like a big sharp sword he used to do piratey things. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that this pirate meant no good. Belinda paled and she cried, help, help! But Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little mouse Blink strategically mouseholed. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon with a clatter and a clank and a jangling squirm. He went at that pirate like a robin at a worm. The pirate gasped at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon, it's a little flask, and fired 2 bullets, but they didn't even hit, and Custard gobbled him, every last bit. Belinda embraced him. Mustard licked him. No one mourned for his pirate victim. Ick and Blink in glee did gyrate around the dragon that ate the pirate. Belinda still lives in her little white house, with her little black kitten and her little gray mouse and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon and her Aurelio, Trulio, little pet dragon. Belinda is as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard is as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard keeps crying for a nice, safe cage. This second poem is about, so basically I lived in Bangladesh for about 2 years. I was a Peace Corps volunteer, which is like after college you can go live abroad and talk to people about your government and learn new skills and stuff. So I lived in this place called Bangladesh, which is over near India, and I was an English teacher, and I spent a lot of time doing something that was very American, which was watching wrestling with Bangladeshis, because the men in my village would get together every Thursday and they would watch professional wrestling together. And I was never a professional wrestler myself, and I was never a wrestling fan, but man, I got to know those wrestlers by all their names because I'd get homesick, and so it was very American to watch wrestling. So this was like 10 years ago now, and this is a poem called Rock is Coking. And what would happen is you'd have like The Rock and you had like Stone Cold Steve Austin were the big wrestlers, and they'd make these posters and they'd put them up in the town square. You could buy them, but they would try to translate what the wrestlers were saying. So The Rock used to say The Rock is cooking, which means The Rock is all fired up to wrestle, but they would write it The Rock is coking. So this is probably more for the adults, but I hopefully it's entertaining. Rock is coking. Saturday morning, and Babul rattles the gate, yelling, "Mummy of the return, John! Mummy of the return!" until I toss down the keys. Which synapse fires homesick with The Rock? From a wobbling camcorder held high above the audience in Singapore, maybe Malaysia, it seems improbable that Brendan Fraser would so easily fell our Scorpion King. A magical spear. We watch it twice to be sure. We have never actually seen anyone defeat The Rock. Chair, ladder, ring bell, steel cage, chainsaw, sledgehammer, stun gun. The Rock rallies to win every time. Even when the anonymous heel, who later turns out to be Commissioner McMahon's estranged son-in-law war hero working in cahoots with the twin sister of a wife he thought was just as Linda acting strange after the amnesia. Even when Corporal Punishment himself crashes a late model Lamborghini into the children's hospital, the Rock lays the smack down. Raw is war is rock country, and so is Tangail, Bangladesh on a Thursday night. When all of the men in Babul's family gather under his tin roof to watch a bootleg feed, cheering on the acrobatics and wincing with each near pin. Posters of these well-choreographed moments line the tea stalls in town. Captions roughly translate the Rock's silver tongue. I am Rock Man, and smell what Rock is coking. The Rock is coking all right, we joke to each other at the American Club, chasing cheese fries with ice-cold Heinekens in a hot tub under armed guard. What doesn't seem ironic? But shoulder to shoulder on Babul's small floor, passing rice and lentils until every last relative has a plate, the ironic impulse feels pessimistic, like admitting once and for all that I will always be the outsider, and that wrestling is not some lingua franca I speak with both Shaheen, the NGO coordinator, and Kohinoor, Babul's young brother, who moonlights as the gangster's gunman. You are like Big Show, Kohinoor boasts, as my doppelganger choke slams the Rock into a turnbuckle. And sure enough, we're soon cheering a sudden role reversal, some minor subterfuge with a folding chair, the head wounds blinding them both as they grope for a pin. I try to explain that these matches are rigged, that there is no way that Val Venus could rip off his neck brace, then endure 3 consecutive sleeper holds, even if winning means Major Guns will finally accept his marriage proposal. But how to translate choreographed, rigged, smackdown, sleeper hold? Which is more American, the expatriated liberal or the beefcake meathead? What xenoglossia commences with the angry, purposeful, confident strut of the Rock, roiling a stadium to pyrotechnic hysteria, 1 million watts boosting the inner brain-piercing anthem of the fabulous downbeat finger-waggling, eyebrows arching, pectorals bouncing, despite our foreknowledge that neither pain nor foe nor dark of night shall keep our hero from winning the final round. Because it's that time of the week again. Babul offers half of what he has to another late arriver eager to join the onlookers for food, and the Rock's powerful show, just as another night of rain rumbles the tin like worn canvas, prodigious, visceral, and triumphant. Thanks.